Right, okay, so two things we're going to work on here. First one, I think you're turning too much in this whole swing, and I'll explain that. The second one is that feeling of release. How do we get that club to point a little squarer? Now, look at this here on the right-hand side of the screen. And a lot of people, I think you're going to compare this to yourself, and a lot of people that get driver and think, I've got to turn loads because I want loads of power. And really, I feel like that messes up strike location.
That's what I've always thought.
Yeah, and I think if you think about it, the more you put into it, everybody thinks in life, right, the more you should get out. Like, if I'm not going to punch you, don't worry. If I punch you, I get more, I hurt you more. Whereas in golf, you don't tend to get as much back the more you put in. So, if you look at you on the here, look how much we've turned off this golf ball. We've turned so much. If I just wind this back to the point where you're probably not even going to see the golf ball, your head is now
that way,
pointing over here. So that's the first thing we're going to really identify. The second thing is have a look at the way down here. Our club face at this point, if I keep showing you, is very, very open. We'd ideally want it to be somewhere like that and somewhere like that.
Yeah, very open.
So let's open the door to the second one, but first let's get this first bit just dialed in a little more. So if we think of our role is to have our circle back, so it almost rotates and stays roughly in the same place. Now at the minute you're turning your circle so much and are quite flat with the shoulders to the point where you're coming off the golf ball. So your role on the way down now is to then try and re-center our circle and square the face. Sounds a pretty hard task.
It's a lot to do, isn't it?
So if we think about feeling that we keep our circle a little more under control. Now, that for me there is a full turn.
Yeah.
This is what you were doing.
Yeah. Big difference.
Big difference there, isn't there? So I actually feel like you're going to be feeling like you're doing less, but you're going to get more. Okay, so I want you just to grab this hoop around you. I want you to do this first. We're going to look at the two things in today's lesson. First one is this turn, and all I want you to think about the golf swing is about that coil up. But really, all I want the shoulders to do is just turn a little more than the hips. Even less than that. So just put your hands on the inside. Whee! And then like this. So like where mine were like this. Perfect. Boom. I want you to just feel, you just turn and keep that there. Last turn. There we go. That's it. That's all this.
Right.
Now you do what you do before. Right?
Yeah, miles right.
Look how much your hips are turned. Now in theory, your hips and your shoulders have moved the same amount. Do it again, don't move your hips. I want you to feel that coil, that tension. That's it.
Yeah, you can feel that right down here.
You're going to ache.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
But my whole idea of this is you're here.
Because I'm well off it, and yet there I'm not. I'm
exactly.
Looking at it.
So I just want you to take 2 or 3 for me now, just where you
Try
feel.
doing that.
Yeah, I mean, just have that idea of that left shoulder working a little more down.
Yeah.
And that idea of just feeling like you're doing less.
Pulling these right round.
So, exactly that. So make what you feel here is what we're going to call a full-blooded half swing. Don't hit this one away. Just do me a practice swing where you feel that you do that. So just come inside the ball a little bit.
There.
So don't adjust the ball, Andy, first. Just come inside. That's it, mate. Yeah, perfect. Now I want you just to make me now, like we just said, a full practice swing, but what feels half swing to you. Right, brilliant. And down and through. And again, do that again for me. No pause this time. That felt half.
Yeah, I still turned a little bit though, my hips.
That's great.
That's better.
Now you have a look at this. This is exciting, by the way. This is 10 out of 10. So you feel like this is not you turning. Perfect. Where's the shoulders? $1 million. Down towards the ball. Chest back. Legs nice under control. Go back to that theory of we're not moving our hoop massively all over the place, are we?
I used to be like that.
Yeah.
I used to be so open.
Like you used to turn everything so much. Now you don't have to worry about that. I want us just to hit maybe 2 or 3 away, then we'll start looking at this club face. Because I realise we've got to figure out them both, but the club face is going to be a lot more manageable if you get that.
Yeah.
So I think everybody look at this and go, all I want you to do is imagining your role, no matter how long your backswing is that your hips turn half your shoulders. When you turn everything so much, we move off the golf ball.
Yeah.
And we don't actually create any tension.
That feels, compared to, I've been down here before.
And then you've got to find where you're at.
To be,
Right, okay, here we go. Wow.
Look at the difference.
What a drive.
The difference is immense.
Have a look at them numbers there. 1.49 smash. You didn't even feel like you put much into that, and that's
No.
94 miles an hour club head speed out the middle of the bat.
Straight down middle at
And I love that launch, right? That launch is stunning. Speechless.
That's mad. That is mad.
Let's do it again. Let's do it again.
See, it weren't a fluke.
Well, let's hope it wasn't, right?
No, so do I.
So again, have a few practice swings. The idea of the hips not even doing anything, this just there.
Well, to be honest with you, then it felt like I didn't even engage the hips.
Great, and I think that's something. If I asked you to sort of I think that's too much. Go less.
Yeah.
I think if I asked you to summarise it for everybody, I think that's a great way of doing it. Don't engage the hips.
That's what it felt like.
Good. Let's go for that again. Oh, a little open in the face.
Yeah, but still.
But don't forget, we've not even talked about that yet.
Contact felt all right.
You've got better than that, Andy. You've got
Yeah, I
better.
have, yeah.
We're
I
scratching
have,
the surface on that. Once we get this face in the next bit, we are scratching the surface. You are scratching the surface. So one more for me. I just want us to be able to open up the door to be able to do this next thing. I don't want us to do too much too quick. Last turn, last turn. Come on, really just feel like you go to town on that feeling. What a drive,
Like
sir.
Oh, man. Never.
See, you look like you did so much less. Best
Never
ball
in a
speed.
million years.
Best ball
Yeah.
speed. 138, 1.47,
Never.
94 mile an hour again.
Never in a million years. I feel like I'm not even engaging my hips. I'm not even turning them.
Do you feel like this is tight to hit?
Yes. Yeah. I feel like I've got more.
You're going to get in the car later and go, I can't move now.
Thanks, mate. Yeah.
So
when I'm visiting a family and I'm walking like that, then
you'll know about it.
I'll say, blame Alec. You'll see.
So if we look at that there and we just summarise that, a reason why I want to move quickly on to this next bit is I think that's really easy for you to do.
Yeah.
I just think you've got to trust that the less you put in, the better it's going to go.
Out, yeah.
The less you put in, the better it's going to go. And that's what I want you to think about there. Okay, let's take a little pause. We're going to grab let me show you this bit.
Yep, no, cool.
Right, this is really important. Really, really important for your swing here. And I would say for everybody, this is probably the most important part of this lesson because what hits the golf ball? This thing. And we all forget to think about this thing. It's vitally important. I think both of these points are important. I'm not going to say they're not, but I think this bit of this video really opens the door to the D word. It's 4 letters and it ends in W. Draw.
That's it.
I was thinking, have I got that right there?
Well, yeah, D. Yeah, well, there's a few D words, but yeah.
Nah, that one's ends in K.
And I get called it quite often. Yeah, but yeah, no.
Well, you might actually, because you might be getting called you're going to need a sombrero because you're going to drive it too well. So at the minute, if we think about this here, you swing it down, and where does your strings and face point? Like this as we get into the golf ball. And you don't really release in it. Now, if I asked you a question about this, and I might have got this wrong, but do you feel to hit it straight, your face has got to point straight a foot after the golf ball?
Yeah, I try, if I'm honest with you, Alec, when I'm swinging it, and I feel comfortable with a swing, I'm actually trying to release it a little bit to the right.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But if you sort of describe to me here, if I come here and show me with the face.
Down it now, I would be aiming to swing out there.
And keep the face like that?
Like that, yeah.
Okay, interesting. So everybody, just have a look at this here and come and look at this on player cam. So come over my shoulder. What Andy's describing here is this. The club coming in like that and staying there, right? Now, that for me is always only ever going to fade. Yeah. Where you should be a foot after the golf ball is that toe starting to overtake the heel, a bit more like that. And we're only talking fine margins.
Right.
But that's one of the reasons why I asked you that. Because I think everybody that tries to hit it straight, they try and swing the head straight and keep the face pointing straight. Yeah. Okay, so let me show you this again. So I'm going to show you this. I'm not going to exaggerate this. This is where your strings point. We're like that, and then we're like this, and we stay straight. Okay? What I want us to have the idea now is we're going to get the strings to point more over. Look where I am in the golf ball, and then look where I am afterwards.
Turning.
Oof. And over. So a foot after the golf ball, let's say around about where that tee peg is.
Yeah, I want to be.
Yeah. Now let me just really go to town on this. We're going to get you to use the badminton racket as a drill. But if I just showed you this, everybody have a look at this. This will hopefully be a bit of a light bulb moment here. We're trying to hit in that direction, right? If I come in here and we have a look at this, and the swing works on what? It's an arc, so it works in and it works in. There's a bit of an arc. Now, as it works on the arc, what does this face start to do relative to target? Close.
Closed up, yeah.
And if you're trying to keep it square by keeping it straight, is it fair to say, relative to the arc, you're going to make it be open?
Yeah.
Which is why you're always going to fight a heel strike and that slicey curve. So if you looked at that there and go, okay, if I constantly try and keep it straight, well, I'm only ever going to create that spin. So we're going to explore this idea of you trying to create some big shots now, which are the opposite spin.
A bit of draw.
Yeah, and we're going to do it quite to the extreme, because I always think if you're learning something new, let's go to town, right? Let's really exaggerate, because I don't think anybody can really exaggerate it as much as they can, or much as they think they can. So, then grab that for me. Bet you didn't think you'd be grabbing one of them this morning.
Takes me back to my school days.
Yeah. Right, but okay, do you know what? You just did something there. Do that again, whip it through. What did you just do?
I did it to
put
backspin on it.
But you released it?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
And you'd have hit that straight back to your opponent. Yeah. But your face didn't point straight, did it?
No,
it released.
No, it released.
Interesting. This is hitting the nail on the head. So come and address this for me here. Like a golf club though, not a badminton racket this time. Swing it top for me. And the crazy thing is you've got quite a strong grip, but you still slice it because you don't release it. So on the way down now, we're going to imagine we're going to allow
that to turn.
That to turn.
So.
But it happens from the start of the downswing. Right. Do it a bit earlier. Nice. Now look at that. That's totally different. You're completing it. You're completing the circle. So whatever you do on the way back, you're completing it on the way down. Right. Now I want you to do this.
Do that naturally, eh?
Well, you're going to do that naturally now. Do it.
I hope so.
Don't hit a shot for me. I want you just to see this, and then we're going to hit a couple. Right. Do it. Fire away for me. Okay. How do you think you did it?
I think I turned it over a bit, probably a little bit later than I should have done, but
I'll tell you now.
It felt later than what I should have done.
No, you were absolutely ace.
Yeah.
So
look at that, yeah.
Perfect, right? So before we were somewhere like this.
Yeah.
Now where are we?
Yeah.
Boom.
Interesting.
And look at that finish.
Because I thought I'd done that quite late.
I think you could probably do what I would describe a release is, and there's this great picture of Rory on the way through, and I'll sort of demo it here for you. I absolutely love this. There's this great picture of Rory, because everyone gives this bad rep. Everyone gives that position bad rep. I've no idea why. That's what the great picture at the Masters of him doing that.
It's a good finish.
Whereas Andy, you're
yeah, chicken winged.
Yeah, a little bit, because you're stopping that release. You weren't on those shots.
Yeah.
Right, so I want you to hit these now at gear 3.
Yep, right.
Gear 5 being like full out fast. So we're turning less and we're releasing it, right? They're the ideas and the swing thoughts that we're going to go with right now. I want you just to go to town on this, where you're not going to be scared of doing it to as much as you can. You're not going to be scared. Don't be scared of releasing it. Watch your aim there. Your left foot's pulled a bit back. Pull your left foot forward a bit. That's it.
Oh.
No, great. What did you do?
Too much.
But you're aiming over there.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Now,
oops.
I think that was great. I think you did exactly what I'm after.
Over exaggeration.
Yeah. Do it again for me. So this is where I think in the future lessons we might start discussing tee height a little more.
Yeah.
So watch your feet there. Go on, aim up that right for me now. Let's give yourself some permission. Aim up that right. Oh, what a hit. What a hit. That's exactly where you're aiming, right?
It is, yeah, funny enough.
What a hit.
Turn it over a bit more.
Go again for me. Out the middle more?
Yes, definitely.
So swing it back and stop. Less turn. Give you this feeling. That feeling of nice and relaxed, just enjoying that journey. Boof.
Right.
Enjoy that journey. You're just completing the circle here.
Oh, that's beautiful. That felt good.
I mean, look at the shot shape, right?
That felt good.
Stunning hit. That for me is like a combination of great launch, but you're going to get some great roll.
Yeah.
And you look like you could do that all day there.
Yeah.
You did just look like, what I want you to think about yourself is, before it looked hard work, that there looks like nonchalant golf.
Yeah. And what have you done? Have you lifted this up like change the loft up a touch?
We did when we filmed before.
Because it was sitting.
So we've actually just...
I've only said it because the launch seems to be coming out quite nice.
Yeah, because I think it was too low for you before.
Yeah.
So basically, and I mean this nice possible, if you're a slightly slower swing speed, having a bit more loft than your driver will really help. So we've actually added it to +1, but we did this before the start of this lesson. But now you're actually releasing it, you're getting you're getting what the club's meant to do.
Yeah, no. I'll take that all day long.
Different class.
Yeah, it is. Very nice.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.